Hello, everyone. Um, how are you? How's everyone doing? I'm just going to wait a little bit. I'm very bad with technology. We're here telling your followers that you've started live. Thank you so much. Cool. I am going to, okay, firstly, I'm so freaking excited about this. So I was supposed to have my first guest on Monday, but I thought I had the Rona, but I didn't. I had bronchitis, but no one really worries if you like have bronchitis anymore. They basically only care if you have Rona. But I'm so excited. Today I'm going to be interviewing and connecting and chatting with someone. Her name is Michele Traina. I have prepped like quite a little professional introduction. But Michele is someone that I've been following on TikTok and Instagram, and she's honestly hilarious. Like, she takes divorce and her life and she just makes it into such a humorous aspect. Like, even if, say, for example, and we'll get into it, whether she might be crying and laughing, I'm not sure, but I know that she makes me laugh so much. So Michele is a performer, she's an educator, she's a creator of multiple performance brands that carry a thread of healing through humor. She's a comedian, she's a divorced mom, she's a legend. But yeah, I'm going to add her now, and I can't wait for everyone to meet Michele through divorce by humor. And yeah, so hello, Michele. How are you?
Like, gorgeous. Look, first of all, I'll put you up in my room where it's a mess on purpose so we can laugh about it.
Honestly, like whenever I watch your stuff, I'm like, oh my God, literally that's my life every single day. She just shows it. It's the best.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be on here. So thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure. Honestly, thanks because I know that you've been crazy busy, and I know that you've literally like every single time I see you like either doing a TikTok. So the TikTok that you did, I think it was yesterday or today in the pool, finished me. Like, it absolutely finished me. It's honestly hilarious. And so why I kind of wanted to do all these lives with people that have walked different paths in divorce is because I know personally, for me, like, humor is everything for me. Like,
Yeah.
I laugh my way through everything. And when people are like, why are you laughing? I'm like, it's just the trauma. Like, it's just really stressed. So that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, what has happened in your journey of divorce? Like, tell us like a little bit, like, what's happened and how did you find the humor aspect to heal through it?
I think that's a great question. I think I naturally have always been driven to create from my life. I became an actor because that was what made me feel good to do that, right? To take all my life circumstances and put them into a character, or, you know, something like I create a show. So when I was getting divorced, I had already written like one-woman shows, or I've workshop things where it was like taking my life experiences and putting on the stage. And I moved home with my parents and my 95-year-old grandma, and we're Italian American family, so we're loud and obnoxious and like loving and hating at the same time. And so there's just natural comedy ebbing and flowing in the dysfunctional love that we share.
Yeah.
So I felt like I kept thinking of like reality show and like, I don't know, do they have the Real Housewives? You know the Real Housewives?
Yeah.
You look like 𝐸𝐸𝐾𝐄. Like, you're gorgeous, by the way. I'm like, oh my God,
Thank you.
You really are.
Thank
you look like her. Like, I don't know if you watched the Real. Okay, so I'll have to send you a picture. I'm like, oh my God, this girl looks exactly like her. She's beautiful. Anyway, so I'm like,
we like fangirls.
Today, fabulous divorce chick. I can't wait. And but the thing is that the humor part is where I take all of the flaws I have and kind of spread them out and laugh at them, because I used to feel like I had to feel insecure about them. You know, like, I'm not perfectly, you know, pretty. I'm like beautifully awkward. You know, that's me. Like, that's
I know exactly what you're saying. I know, like, I promise you, I'm the exact same. Like, my dad always used to say to me, Jennifer, you need to accept every single one of your flaws, because when you do, no one can use them against you. and no one can. And I think also with me, I also find humor, and that's why I resonated so much with you and what I want to show people going through divorce. Like obviously, like if you start randomly laughing in a lawyer's meeting, you'll be deemed psychotic. Like, like why is she laughing randomly? But it's one of those things where it's like healing. There's so much healing in humor, and I think you bring that. So like, how do you bring it? Like, I know you've been filming your pilot. Like, I want to know everything.
So the first part is I created a live show because my background is in theater, and I, again, my background was in theater. I have done comedy before in a improv setting where it's live performance, and I created this comedy show based off of my life where I do stand-up material. I do improv, and I also do sketch comedy. And it's taken a while in the last 5 years to formulate into the structure that I'm pretty happy with. There's still some elements that we're tweaking. I went from having other comics on the show to going back to the original idea of a one-woman show. And I have a very close friend of mine who, his name is Doug Bass. He's a comic, but we've known each other since we were in high school, and he knows my whole life, you know? So when we travel, he usually features with me, and it's like a nice balance. And he is in this television series. So when I'm writing this TV series idea, I said, why don't I just create the whole concept that I'm trying to do with him anyway, which is come here and film my life, because he's a filmmaker. But he like wouldn't do it. And so finally I was like, I'm right in the pilot. I'm going to create this, and you're going to be cast yourself, and someone else will film it.
Yeah.
And so we took the live show and kind of I manipulated it into a scripted series, and there you have it. Like, it's at the very beginning stages. You know, I created a proof of concept. Now it has to get edited, and I have to submit to places.
I'm so excited. Like honestly, it's so fascinating because firstly, you like obviously going through divorce is not easy, right? Like I see what people go through, trying to get maintenance, trying to communicate, your daughter having a meltdown at camp, like I saw that as well. It's like, and there's just so much that happens, and what like, and even speaking to you, the energy that you emit is just so like positive, and you don't beat around the bush, you know what I mean? Like you don't bullshit people. You're not like, oh, everything's fine. You're like, my mom's judging me in this bikini. My daughter's having a meltdown, but fuck it, I'm in here because you know what? I'm actually I want to sell tickets. Like it's so.
I thought of, you know what it was, Jen? I thought of, do you like to be called Jen or Jennifer?
You can call me Jen.
So I thought about it, and hi everybody, we got a lot of people listening. Woo woo. Listen, I love my little pool. My daughter wanted it, and now she won't go in it because of the bug. She feels like there's too many bugs outside.
Oh yeah.
And let me just show you right now. Look, the neighbors can see right in. And then I have another neighbor over there that asked me what I was doing this weekend. Sidebar, not to drift off track. I was like, if you don't want to ask me out, ask me out. Don't ask what are you up to, because I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get it in. You're not trying to get dinner. It's not even like he wants to take me out. He's like, what are you up to? I'm around. I'm like, well, what does that mean? I'm not opening
I'll
my
give you some great advice, like coming from one of my friends that was sleeping with his neighbor. Don't do it. He had to move. Like don't do it. It's not worth it. Find someone like 10 kilometers away.
No, hey? I just think it's funny because I'm like, if I blow him off, he's gonna be like, why are you sitting in your pool doing pictures?
What are you doing? I'm busy, like trying to. So that's actually also wanting to ask you, like, how is your dating life? Because I find mine's an effing mess. And, like, I give great relationship advice, but trust me, I never take it myself. Like,
well, I haven't really had any dating life in the last year because of the pandemic. And right before the pandemic, I ended a really bad relationship that was hidden from everybody because it was with a married man. And I don't even beat around the bush anymore. I just say he was married, because I used to say he was in the process of getting separated or getting.
But then people are like, okay, Michelle, we know that you're talking shit, and he's married. Just say it.
Yeah. It was that. It was like a friendship that turned into a bad thing. And he kept telling me that he was getting divorced. He was going to get divorced. And so it was a bad thing. And I should have known it was lies, but I wanted to believe it.
You don't know. You don't know.
Horrible. it was horrible for me to reflect that poor image of myself. Like, I know better. I was raised to believe in values and not lie and not cheat. And, you know, I fell for somebody and, you know, wanted to believe it. So since then, and so we ended it 2 years ago. And then my dad died, and he didn't come, he didn't even offer condolences or anything. So that tore me up. And then the pandemic happened like 3 months later. I worked with him at the time. I had left teaching to perform full time again, all at the same time. It left me really sad for men, and I was very shut down. But then I had like a fling with somebody, not expected, that I needed to do. And I was like, because this guy was gorgeous. I was working in Las Vegas, and I'm heading to Vegas in 2 weeks. Anyway,
I honestly wish I could get on a plane, but like I need a visa, and I need a vaccine, and I need like, it's so impossible.
I'm telling you, in a year, I need to come to South Africa. I'm dying.
Yeah, I'll come to America. Like, trust me. Like, we can do a trip.
Yes. So my dating life has been non-existent because the pandemic happened, and I just end up like connecting with men. Like, was one guy I connected with was a friend from high school who had a girlfriend, and I felt a vibe, but like I didn't want to go down that road of being in a shady situation again. And I was like, well, that sucks. I can't do anything about it. And then the other guy I was talking to briefly was like another comic, and sweet, but like not looking for anything serious. And he totally turned me off because I was willing to have a friends with benefits, but he kept dipping out of conversations and saying he'd fall asleep. And so I finally called him out. I was like, yo, if I'm going to have you to my apartment, you have to like communicate. And he's like, well, I'm not looking for anything serious. And I was like, what?
Those are the worst people, the ones that just pop in. So they'll be there, and then you finally start to get over them, and they'll be like, hey, and you'll be like, hey, and then they'll disappear. And then they'll be like, hey, and then you'll be like, what the fuck? Just either fuck off or like come in or go out. Like, just leave me alone.
They sidle in, and like the thing is, like, so I haven't really, there's one guy definitely like that I haven't met. We connected through the divorce community, and he's really sweet, and like I totally have vibes for him because we've talked for hours and all this stuff. But like, he's blatantly said, I can't do long distance, and I just want to be your friend. And it hurts because like, I think
that's
there's
good.
a real,
because you might be able to form a friendship, and then something else happens. You must always remember, like, okay, I'm sometimes miss positive pants, and some of my friends are like, just shut up. And I'm like, I have to be, because I've dated a psychopath that lied to me as well. I've gone through the most with men. So if I don't sit here and go, okay, well, this person's actually not for me, maybe it's not a rejection, maybe it's a redirection, it makes me feel better, because like I don't feel like being sad.
So I love that you said that, because it makes you feel better, and I agree. I take that statement that it's a redirection for me to knock him out. No, I'm kidding. But like, I'll be like, I'll say stuff like that and be like, the guy that I crushed on, I really like him. But there's parts of me that want to be like, well, fuck you for not freaking saying I'm amazing, even though we never met. Like, screw you. And like, I'll get all hyped up. And he's like, and
I think that's the thing. You think it's about you. And when you're dealing with toxic men, it's not actually about you. So I would go, maybe if I'm this, he'll like me. Maybe if I'm this. And I'm just like, he's actually like not even a Prince Charming. He's some moron like dressed in tinfoil. And I'm trying to like say to him, oh, please accept me. But he's actually just a moron. He's just a moron.
Yeah, like this specific guy is not at all like that. That's what I felt bad for when I started getting heated with him, is he's actually a really nice guy. And I'm jumping the gun because of all the past relationships and the past rejections. So I'm like this in his face. And most people would be turned off by that and be like, well, fuck you, I'm not talking to you. And he's like, okay, well, I'm still going to be here if you want to talk. And
like romantic.
But he doesn't want to be romantic.
but so like for me, I've dealt with that before. A man saying, let's rather be friends, like from what I've experienced in my life, one, he cares, but he wants it to go a bit slower and suss it out. Because you must also understand, like when people get into relationships, you're bringing all your triggers. He's bringing all his stuff. And then now you guys have to navigate through it. And starting a friendship is actually a really good way to do it. Like, so I don't think it's a rejection. I think it's also like, yeah, I just say to myself when I date, I'm just like, let me get out of my own head. Let me get out of my own way. Because I'm either like, oh, I don't care. Or why the fuck did you not message me? Oh, I don't care. Why is he not messaging me? Like, I become like bipolar.
I literally, that's why I do jokes about it, because that's me. I'm like, 5 minutes later, why did I, like, even now, I'm like, what? I saw that he looked at my story. I'm like, why can't he text me? Why can't he text me? But at the end of the day, he's like, you can't talk to you. Because I told him, like, I need space right now because I can't handle friendships, because if I like you and I see something on social media, I'll be like, why are you saying that about her? Why are you heart? Why is she heart? Like, I'm like, who the fuck is this? And then I'll be like, how many friends do you have? And then, like, I told him, I'm like, I know how I can get. And it's because it's not the other women. It's the fact that I'm not getting what I want from this person. And then it drives me to be irrational. And, like, I'm like this. And I do a joke where, like, men call us crazy, but they drive the bus to crazy. They're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they start with like, oh, I really think you're amazing. You're a really amazing woman and all this stuff. They have great conversation with you, and then they get off the bus and you're nowhere. And you're like, where am I?
Yeah. But I think that's the one thing that I realized in my own personal relationships is that I, like, whenever someone makes me feel uncomfortable about something, I don't change them. I literally dig deep and I'm like, okay, why is this bothering me? Like, because when it's bothering me and I get to heal it, then I become unaffected if it happens again. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, if you have, for example, this guy and you guys are friends and he respects you, I don't think that he would be posting stuff of other girls on his, because you have that mutual respect now. Do you know what I mean?
He doesn't, like, he doesn't post about other women. It's like his business. Like, so he's not doing any, rationally speaking, he's not doing anything wrong. In my brain, I'm like,
yeah, no, I know.
like, but that's irrational. Like, for me, I get that I'm being irrational about it, but that is why I told him it is not about him. I just can't handle friendships with guys I like. Like, I go into a dark place. And I also think that because of the men that I've had before who want to hone a friendship with me and not be committed, that's where I start to get triggered into my past, which is not on him. It's on me. And any other person that comes in my life. I feel like I've been noticing that the older I get, like, I got divorced at 32, going on 33. I was 33. And I noticed that each year gets a little more harder, honestly. And I don't even put myself out there. Like, people put themselves on apps and they go out. And I put myself out there for maybe the first 3 years. And then I was like, now I've just been like, because it's tiring. I didn't go on apps. I got set up by friends, or I met somebody at work, and then I lingered onto them in hopes that they changed their mind, and nothing ever happened. I wouldn't, like, immerse myself because I can't. I'm a Scorpio. I don't know if you follow the signs, but
of course I follow signs. I dated a Scorpio, so I know that you could be a little bit scary. but that's so, for like, honestly, for me, Michelle, like, and this is the only thing that comes into my mind when I have that kind of situation in my own personal life. Like, I literally tell myself, I don't choose people who don't choose me. Done. Like, done. Like, I don't literally, like, you don't get to be in my space if you're not choosing me. If you're in and you're out and you're in, you're out, rather stay out. Just leave me alone. Just go away. I'll find someone else that will irritate me. Anyway.
No, well, that's actually a good point. And, like, you know, I keep telling myself to relax about things and let things happen. And that's very hard for me to do. And I think you know, when I like a guy and they don't reciprocate the way I need it, and this could be different with him. What's up, Traina? My cousin is listening. All right. She's divorced. We got some cool people tapping in. I think that I feel like I just want the immediate affirmation that you are amazing, Michelle, and I'm not looking anywhere else. And that's not real.
No, but that's not rational.
Right.
And how about this? If a guy does cut, and I'm going to ask you a tricky question. Let's say you do get a guy that goes to you and goes, hey, you're amazing. You'll be like, ew, go away, you fucking psychopath.
Yeah, like I have men that have hit on me that are like all about me, and I'm like, I just don't feel them. And I had,
We're the same. I think all women are the
yeah,
same. We want to be romanticized. Someone comes to romanticize, we like, go away, friend zone, damn.
yeah, like this guy friend zones me immediately, not because of anything. He kept calling me, I'm so glad our friendship, our friendship, our friendship. And when I said, I was like, yo, you keep friend zoning me. He's like, well, you live like far away. And I was like, so what?
Yeah, I just had a long distance relationship. It's hard. It's really, really hard. Like distance creates distance.
Well, you have a question here. What if he is so into you, like 200%, but he's married?
I can't see anything. So what if he's so into you, like 10%, but he's married? So that's Roxanne, she's actually doing like I think lots of people that are on this are essentially going through like something that resonates with divorce. And I think when it comes to I genuinely do not judge people. Like if someone tells me I had an affair,
Yeah,
I'm not a judgmental person. I do believe that we do things that make us feel good and happy and safe. And it's not up to someone else to tell me whether something's wrong or right. Like obviously morally, if we lived in Bible times, you'd be put on the cross. But right now, we live in a different time. Like connection, the soul thing, as you're talking about the Scorpio thing, like I'm an Aries. I like when I have a deep connection with someone, I never ever thought I'd A, date someone younger than me, and B, someone that lived in Cape Town, like another city. I did both. But like it's about just moving with the times. But I wanted to ask you another question. Like, what is your typical day? Like, so you create comedy, like what do you do in your day?
so in the typical day, you'll see in the pilot is what a typical day is, and it's a little different now because I don't teach full time anymore. But I get up here. Now listen, there's laundry all over the place, and my room is a mess here. But I get up and I write. I try
Yeah.
to get up at 5 a.m. and write, but lately I've been really tired and I've been allowing myself to sleep. Yeah, hi Bill. Hi, I know. I've been allowing myself to sleep till like 6:30. The other day was 7, which is late for me because I was
badass.
and I think that because my daughter's in camp right now, she has 2 days off, and then like she has 2 days off because we're taking a breather from what happened yesterday, and she's going to start back up again on Monday. And so I get up, I write, I get my daughter up, we have breakfast, dysfunctional breakfast, like I grab her donuts today.
That's not dysfunction, that's normal. Like that, like that's the thing. It's normal. Dysfunction, actually normal is not that, like dysfunction is normal for me.
Yes, and I feel like there's some moms that go out of their way to make these healthy smoothies. And I know that I should because it actually does affect her behavior, her diet. So I always say, all right, I'm going to make this happen. You can have 2 donuts, but you can also have some oatmeal, and it's summer. Fuck it, man.
But when I say like, so she go to school. How old is she?
She's 9, and she does go to school. School just ended here for another 2 months, and now she's in summer camp. And then what will happen is depending on my schedule, like these next 2 weeks, I'm plugging the show, and I'm in.
And I want to hear about that.
Yeah. So because I'm like a one-woman show and business department right now, I don't have a full-time person helping me, which won't happen till like I get a signed deal, right? I have myself doing marketing and sales where I call law firms, call divorce attorneys, I call businesses, local businesses. I research the areas where I'm traveling to see who would be interested in coming to my show, and I connect with them either on social media, or I call them, or I email them, or all 3. And then I also circle back, and then I'm also checking off press and any check-ins I have to do with the clubs that I'm touring.
So you're doing amazingly. Like honestly, it's like the fact that you just take it in your own hands is remarkable. And so someone said I can help.
Oh, Marco is, so if you see the picture of me, Marco took those pictures. So Marco Vasquez, he took those promos of me. He's a comic and a photographer in New York City. So
I want to come meet you guys. Like honestly, I feel like South Africa is so lame now. Like, because I'm trying to, so my whole goal is essentially to get into that American space, because I think it's so like fascinating, like especially watching how you do things. Like America's like another world. Like it's literally like another world. Like
I think it is, but we're on our own little, like, we're kind of in our own zone, right? And like, I
well, you
mean,
have
when
40 different time zones in one country. It's ridiculous.
that's
I
it is
can't figure it out. Like I literally need like a calculator.
Me too. And I, well, first of all, again, like I was so excited. I was like, South Africa. I'm doing a live with South Africa is going to see me, and I was obsessed with that because I'm a Jersey girl. Like I haven't barely been. I've been in the country, but I've never traveled outside of the country. I've been to the Bahamas once in college, Canada, and that's it. And I want to so badly travel internationally, especially with Divorce Diaries, and like connect with like other cultures and just kind of make people laugh, and it would be great.
But that's literally what I want for you as well. Like I'm trying to build literally like a divorce tribe where everyone brings something. Do you know what I mean? And like I also want to ask you, like when it comes to like the non-humor side, so we can laugh and we can make jokes about stuff, but like when it comes to like co-parenting, like how do you do that? Do you still speak to your ex? What like how does your daughter feel about you doing something like this? Like how does your life in the real deep side work?
That's a great question because it's definitely going to shift now. She's getting older, and she filmed the pilot, but and she's okay with she's fine with it now. But I openly talk about our journey as a mom and daughter, and how and it's from my perspective. So right now it's okay. I don't know how she'll feel about me sharing more information about her journey, because I share it from the perspective of me, as a mom, and what I deal with my child. Very smart, intelligent, and she also has ADHD. She also has anxiety, which I have anxiety, and I probably have undiagnosed ADHD. So
No,
like
we all
those things, right? And labeling even a thing? Is there so much so like for her to sit there and look at maybe in 2 years and be like, Mom, stop talking about me, she could possibly say that. And I have to respectfully shift gears, but I have always told her, I'm like, this is mommy's career. I'm a comedian, I'm an actor, I talk about my stuff, my life, because I know it helps others. And I actually I enjoy being me and not having skeletons in my closet. But at the same, you know what I'm saying? Like I used to hide myself when I was married. And I used to be like not myself. And it wasn't my ex-husband's fault. I just was like, I changed for him. I also felt like teacher, I couldn't expose some parts of me because I'm the mom that dances around in a bikini and does TikToks because it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's the whole shift. It's like finding yourself, but not only finding yourself, in finding yourself, you're serving and helping others find themselves. And I think that's what is like the most important thing, is that you kind of become like an illuminator. So when you see people that aren't stepping into their purpose and aren't stepping into their happiness, you're like, fuck it, I'm in a pool, in a bikini, my mom's shouting at me, let's laugh. It's like, I do the same thing with what I do. You kind of become a martyr for other people, but you're so ingrained in who you are that it's like amazing to watch. Do you know what I mean?
I love that. I love that phrase that you said of just like helping other people get into their zone. Like that's the goal. And I'm glad you said it, because my mom is old school Italian, and she's like, Michelle, when your daughter gets older, she's going to see you parading around in this bikini. Like yesterday, she scolded me for a good 15 minutes. And I was like, but Mom, and then I started thinking about it. She's like, even your cousins don't wear that kind of stuff. I was like, what's that?
Your cousins and the person down the road.
Yeah, I was like, well, she's like, you're hanging out. I said, I don't care. I said, I'd be naked if I know it's not appropriate to be naked, but like I enjoy those things. And also I try to find the humor where another woman, like I've had people tell me, don't post bikini pictures because other women will not want to come see your show. And my manager has
coming to the show.
right. But I think because he'll say it like, well, you don't need to show your body like that. I said, it's not about, I'm trying to show the hot, beautiful, awkward mess of who I am. and make other women feel, yeah, let's go do it. Like, F it.
You don't sexualize yourself. It's fun. It's your it's you being comfortable in your own skin. Does not mean that it's also, it's a fucking bikini. So like there are people literally like that post like half naked stuff and nipples, and then you get in trouble for a bikini.
Or there's, and now here's the thing, there's those influencers, the mom influencers with their perfect hair, their perfect skin, their perfect outfits. And I stare at them like, wow, they are really like a perfect little family. I'm sure you've seen them. I'm like, and I just,
There's
I'm
plenty
like,
in South Africa, plenty.
and I just look at it, I'm like, really, like, and there's women that are like, they have 7 kids under 30, and they have 180 followers, and they have all these labels, and I'm just like, and the reality is we can start to feel bad about ourselves when we look at what everybody else is doing, including, I'm sure people get sick of looking at my shit too, but like at the same time, it's a matter of, this is reality. We have flaws, we have beauty, and then there's humor in both of those.
I'm just reading a comment here where it says, so this is a photographer actually that I chat to quite often, and he's like, I'm a bit late, but I think people just need to be comfortable. Also, people like to sexualize everything when there's nothing there. It's completely true. Like when I see you in a bikini, for example, like what you did in the pool, I sent that to one of my best friends who went through a divorce that also was hiding away, was too scared to speak, was all of that. And I literally, she's like, honestly, that's me. I just need to go to the gym. Like, it was honestly the best thing. But not everyone's going to like you. Like, there's some people that say, oh, Jennifer's this. I'm like, oh, okay, go away. You're not my person. And I think, like, when it comes to like you, how you are, like, do you and your ex, are you able to co-parent? Do you speak? Like, what is the situation?
Yeah. So we do co-parent. We're in a much better place than we were like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. How many? 6 years? Yeah. We're in a much better place than we were 4 years.
Just went through the whole 4, 7, 9.
It's been 6 years, and he has a girlfriend who lives with him now. He's fine. It's fine. It's not. We're not best friends, but we're definitely much better than we were. And we do co-parent. Well, you know, he doesn't see her as much because he lives an hour away, but he does see her, and then there's these moments where I'm like, oh, he's coming through, and it's great. And then there's moments where I'm like, you know, I'm through.
But that's normal. That's actually normal. That is the up and down. Like, so many people, they can't even communicate. Like what you're doing now, like in South Africa, I would probably have, like, if you guys were in a toxic place, you'd be launching court applications against you. Like, some people are just freaking crazy. But I also wanted to ask you, like, the one question which I always, like, not always, I used to think to myself that, like, on your journey, would you have done anything differently? Like obviously, there's times where we're like, oh, I should have, but everything that you do you like learn from and like start to like take that and love yourself more? Like, what is your journey?
I mean, I think that if I did anything differently, there are certain things that would have shifted. I do think, though, there's a musical called, I think it's called If Then, that was on Broadway, and it's about her divorce, or it's about her getting divorced. And she could take it shows 2 different paths she could have taken, and in both paths she met her husband and she got her career. I'm gonna cry.
Oh, so you're like, okay, I just want to change, like, this here. Fuck, I want to watch that because I want to make some changes.
But either way, she got the same 2 things that were meant to be, and I feel like, yeah, I could have shifted. I could have not had an affair with a married man. I could have had sex with a lot more men before I got married, so that I have experience that this was not the right person. I mean, it's the reality of it. You know, I could have just said, no, I'm not changing myself. I'm keeping my acting career, even though my ex-husband was not a comfort for him. So I changed. I went into teaching. You know, I paused on that. And there's a lot of things I could have done differently. I'd say that I would hope the universe would still put me in this place because these things were supposed to happen. Like, even if it wasn't Divorce Diaries, it was some kind of big show that I create that helps people. I think the reason why I love performing is because it helps people. And that's like,
that's why I resonate with you. you can see it from a mile away. It's not a thing only about you. It's beyond you sometimes. Like sometimes you'll make yourself look like a tit, as will I. So you get to help other people and show them that they get to be human. And I think that's why I resonated with you so much and I connected, is because there's not very many people like that. People are very self-serving. They want it to be about them. And you make it about other people, but it's like that. Don't you think that's like the best feeling to have? Like you're helping other people and you're stepping into yourself. Like it's the best feeling.
That is I appreciate those words very much, more than you know today, because that's with my show. And anytime I feel like I'm not doing that, you know, I need to take a step back. But I appreciate it because that's why I'm here. Yes.
Yeah. I can see it. It's amazing. And I wanted to also ask you, so it says here, hang on, why is it so small? Anything with technology, like, yeah, I share her posts on social media to help her promote it for a show. I'm not concerned about the material because I know it's harmless and for entertainment and I know what she's doing. I do it for myself, but nobody wants to see this in a bikini. So I think this podcast needs to have a more. So honestly, for me, I also took a, like, I don't like asking, hey. I'm like so bad at asking. I'm like, I even got to a point where once my car battery died and I didn't ask anyone for help and I pushed my own car and it like rolled over me and I was like there was a car on me and I was like, okay, my neighbor's like, you need help? I'm like, no, I'm fine. I don't like asking. And that's why when I start to see how we like grow, I like reached out. I was like, the people that follow me need to see someone like Michele. The people, because it's like we become like a team and people feel like safe. And I hope that's what they feel, because that's what you want as well.
100%. And I agree. I think you need you need support. Like a lot of women, we don't like to rely on other people because we think we know we can do it because we are strong humans. And then I get the complex of feeling bad if I ask for help, or then I'll be indebted to that person or whatever it may be. I'm there with you. So yeah, ask. I mean, and now I mean, when it comes to with selling my show or promoting the brand or whatever, I ask because what I give is 150% as a work grind mode, get it popping. Like I'll give them back. And I always just try to be as honest as possible if I'm asking for something from somebody, so that it doesn't feel like I'm being inauthentic, you know. But yeah, we have that feeling of like it's hard to ask, you know.
No, it's
help.
the worst. But when you and this is why I said, when you're asking and it's not self-serving, it's actually helping other people. So like when I just had a thing that popped into my mind, like anyone that is in, and I'll put all your links and stuff in the videos and the podcast, but anyone that's in South Africa, for example, like buy a ticket. Like I'm telling my followers right now, buy a ticket for Michele's show, and then Michele can give it away to someone in the area that can enjoy it, that might not be able to afford it. I think that's amazing.
So that's actually what I've said before on live streams, where it's like, you know, I just got done with this GoFundMe campaign for my pilot, right, to fulfill the funding for it. And now I'm saying to people, all right, well, listen, if you can't come to the show and you purchase a ticket for somebody who can't afford it, I will shout you out. And I do press for the show, and I want to get this message across where it's like, if you help a person who's in need that needs to get the F out of their house right now because they're depressed, then that goes a long way. And I'm so glad that you brought that up, because I'm trying to get that in motion too. I think that maybe is another avenue. Like Vegas is like Sin City, and it can be great, but it's also a city that can be pretty depressing for somebody who is going through divorce, because it's like alcohol and gambling, drinking leads to thinking about your ex, money you don't have. So for Divorce Diaries, it's like, let's just come and laugh. Like, don't worry about nothing. Come and laugh.
No, I agree. I want like people to do that. Like, so for me, it's also supporting you, because this is you. So I also now, like, I have to also sell things, and I hate selling. It's my worst. Like, people be like, okay, I want to buy a product. I'm like, well, you don't need to, but maybe you do. And no. And like my business coach is like, shut the fuck up. Like, literally tell this person that they need what you're creating because it's going to make them feel better. And you genuinely believe it. So I will put all of your links and everything like that. And if anyone's interested, reach out to me and I'll send everything, because I think that's also like, imagine buying something for someone and you giving it to someone, like already there's such a connected space already there.
There's a lot. I love that you said that, Jen, because I feel like there's a lot for, I don't want to get myself in trouble for saying this, but there's a lot for the rich for divorce, and there's not a lot for. And I'm not by any means dirt poor where I have a roof over my head. Thank God. I have rent paid, but I'm Catholic, so I do the
don't worry.
So, but when the pandemic hit and I just left my teaching job and and I had all these gigs lined up and everything went like from here to here, I was like, oh my fucking God, what's going to happen to me for my savings? What's going to happen to me if stuff gets so real that you're like, what the hell? Like you start thinking I'm going to have to start driving food around or something, like all of this stuff starts happening. And then I see the reality of it, and I'm able to provide for my kid and support my goals right now and live paycheck to paycheck. And that's what it is. But there's people that can't, and it's hard because divorce is the business, right? So but these people that go to court, and especially around me, that don't have the money for even a lawyer and to get what they deserve, sucks.
But you're also doing something great. And like, I know, I left my full-time law job to do this, and it's fucking hard. Like, people think that doing when you're living your passion, everything's great. I'm like, I just had a meltdown yesterday. I had 3 minutes ago. And yeah, it's you still need money to live. And I think when it comes to this, it's like, one, I do believe fortune favors the brave. And I also believe that when you start owning it and saying, yeah, I am selling tickets because I want to I want to create a legacy for people around me. Because let's be honest, the people that create legacies in our lifetime have created wealth in abundance. It is something like that. We don't have to feel bad about that anymore. And you give a shit about people. Like, you genuinely give a shit about people. And I think, like, I also wanted to ask you another question, is that if I had to ask you, like, where do you see yourself in 1 year from now and 5 years from now? Like, if I had to have like a magic wand, and I could say, Michelle, anything that you want your dreams to come true, like, where would you see yourself?
Performing Divorce Diaries on a set every day.
So like a show, like an actual show.
See myself in a year doing the live show like I'm doing now in more places. And then I also I see myself walking on set every day.
That's amazing.
I mean,
and getting paid for it and not having to struggle by doing what you love naturally. I mean, when is your pilot? What works? How does that work? Like, what it comes out, and then like, what is the situation?
There's many different avenues to take. So I spoke about my crush before, my friend who's a crush. He's actually in the industry, and he was a very helpful resource for me and supportive. So, and in addition, my creative team has been a helpful source, who have produced their own stuff and wrote, but I'm still very green in creating a television series. I've never done it. I've just acted. So I have to take the proof of concept once it's edited and submit it to networks. And also I'm going to take the film festival route, so that I submit it to networks and I submit it to film festivals and see who I can connect to purchase it. And my goal is they purchase it and I come along with the purchase, not someone else playing me.
You're like, hi, I'm here.
Yeah, like, I mean, because that's what we were talking about. It's a story about my life post-divorce. So we're not, the sale tag is not, because anybody can take my idea, even though I copyright it, even though I trademark, anybody can still take my idea of a single mom. It's been done. There's been a lot of American television shows about a single divorced mom. So it's not so much about that, about this, like we called it yesterday, beautiful awkwardness of this journey of being unapologetically unfiltered and having compassion for other people. And it's funny that you said that, because that came up with a producer friend of mine.
From a mile away. It's amazing.
The perfect mom. There's a character called Perfect Mom in the series, and she keeps like gaslighting me. And I just show her compassion towards the end. We were of the first season. In the pilot, you won't maybe see it as much, but it's like Michelle still will turn and give her the hand she needs if she falls, but she may not do the same for Michelle, for me.
Yeah. Do you play like yourself? So it's obviously written by you, acted by you, but like when you do it, I think that's actually like the best thing ever, because so many people have their own shows and stuff that are written about them that other people kind of act, but you're like living your dream as doing this, but you're also being yourself. And I'm sure you, like, as you probably finished that pilot, you probably learned more about yourself, like,
Oh my
than you
God.
thought that in the beginning.
Well, I learned that I can fucking do something like creating a fucking, sorry, I'm cursing a lot now.
No, honestly, like, look at my cup. It literally says, "Oh, for fork's sakes," but it's a fork.
I love it. So I think that I learned that when I'm backed against a wall, I can make things happen. I didn't know I was going to raise enough money. I made it work under our budget. I had the team behind me. I was able to do it. And other people were like impressed by what I pulled together. And that made me feel proud of myself. I also learned that, I did learn a lot about myself, and it is me. It's a lot of the stuff you see on the camera. It is stuff that actually happened. It's verbiage that happened, although I have to say loosely based.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. Like, this is like, I honestly love, like, I don't like drama in my own life, but I love watching it. Like, I'm there with like my popcorn, like literally like watching everything going on.
It's also the pursuit of happiness. Why that movie with Will Smith? I don't know if you ever saw it. It's called The Pursuit of Happiness. It was based off of that story resonated with me because it's a blink of time and it's the pursuit of it. And if I'm not enjoying the journey, and if I'm not learning from the journey, then there is no point to getting to the finish line. And when I was getting this process in the last 6 months, and I met some people, and I met somebody that I started to think about my patterning in relationships and my patterning with men. And I'm like, I'm still here 6 years later. I'm still doing the same thing with men and getting distracted. What is going on? And so like, I started reflecting on myself and the series arc, and I'm still doing that now. So it is very interesting how much I've learned about myself in the last couple of weeks.
It's amazing. So I wanted to, so the first thing, like, and at the end, I want you to give everyone like where to find you and all of that, because like for me, the one thing that I can't handle about some humans is that people see people as like competition or whatever. Like, if we all just freaking backed each other, life would be so much easier. And so I'd want you to do that. But before then, if like, and I have this thing where if you could literally say one line to like your 30-year-old self, what would it be? Like, it can be like anything.
Okay. Take it all in.
Yeah, that's amazing. I dig that. I dig it. Because the thing is, though, you did. And one last story that I want to share with you as well. I remember watching one of your videos where you were doing what's it called? Like the script rehearsals, and there was a part where you said, and you were saying, "Oh, I've lost something," or whatever, and then someone was like, "What have you done?" You're like, "No, that's part of the script." Because like, I know why you're proud of yourself, because people probably see you as like, "Oh, she's a mess. Oh, she's going to destroy this," and you fucking did it. Do you know what I mean? And it makes it so much better.
It's so funny that you brought that up. That you are on point. You watching my stuff. I love that, because my executive producer, like, he knows me for so long, and I was like, no, wait, that's in this. It was just so well managed in the line, and
Yeah,
it was
you lost your notes or something, and I pissed myself laughing at that. I was like, that is fucking hilarious. Like, because it's like life has gone bam, 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 and people have been ugly and mean, and you're supposed to be lying on the freaking floor like a mess, and you're not. And that's going to destroy so many people. And I can't fucking wait for that day. Like, it's going to be great. But I wanted to just like tell everyone where they can find you, when your like next shows are, tickets and all of that, and then I'll put all of your information.
I'm crying here. It's thundering in Jersey. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Oh my God, I just poked myself in the
No, it's good. I cry on everything, but that touches my heart, what you said. It really does. So the tickets so anything Divorce Diaries, you can go to the website, divorcediaryshow.com. And the next show that I'm going to be at is Funny Stop Comedy Club in Cuyahoga Falls, Cleveland area, Ohio, which is July 15th, and Vegas, July 20th at the Space, and then LA, Los Angeles, July 22nd at the Zephyr Theater. And you can go to divorcediaryshow.com.
Yeah, and for me, anyone that's listening to this, like where also, how much like are your tickets? Like, what are the details and everything on your site?
That's great. Okay, so the tickets are I was looking to see who's watching. This is so awesome. All right, so the tickets are $20 at Funny Stop. The Space is $25, and the LA one, I think we're doing $15 tickets. We're doing a special promo there right now. But if you know you're having, those are the ticket prices. So what
I want to buy I want to buy one for each thing, right? That I'll personally buy, and then I want you to give it away, or like whoever you think deserves it, or anything like that. Because like for me, that like I get to travel without traveling.
You're my hero. Today, you are my hero. I need to do like a divorce queen of the day. I like that. I'm gonna do that every day. Empower somebody around me. The divorce diary queen of the day is Jen. I love it. That's awesome, Jen.
Thank you so much for today. Like honestly, like I tell you what I dig about this is that the energy exchange, it was just so pure and so great. And yeah, we're definitely going to do this soon. I'm gonna pop you a message. Send me everything. This is going to be on my podcast as well. It's going to be on my YouTube. Everywhere you'll be seeing our faces. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure. It's such a pleasure. I hope you have the most amazing day. And everyone, hey, what did you say?
I said you have a good evening because it's later by you, right? It's like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, the time zone's fucked. Like literally, you're like it's 1. I'm like it's 7. I'm like this doesn't make sense. Like it hurts my brain. But everyone that's listening, thank you so much. And yeah, follow Michele on TikTok. She's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure. Have a good day. Cheers.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I just need to end this, and I'm not sure how to do it. There we go. Can anyone tell me how you end a live? Do you just press the X button? No. Oh, why am I so blonde? Yeah, are you sure you went in? Okay, bye.